Hey guys.
Hey there, my name's Kim Fitzpatrick.
Jamie Fitzpatrick here.
We are super excited to be able to do this training.
Yes.
So we know that you are the round table. So we want to make sure that we bring some really cool, whether it be tips or tricks or resources, we hope and just really more so have a conversation about what we have done specifically to build culture on our team, most importantly. And also we have been gifted the topic of retention and also recruiting. And one of the things I want to say right off the bat, when we think about culture, we talk about culture, is that we actually don't use the words recruiting, retention, all of those things, because for me, they're very, they're a little bit robotic. What I love to say, and this really pulls us back to culture, which is going to be a lot of the guys of our conversation today, is talking about it from a heart set and really knowing that we're not looking to catch anyone. We're not looking to keep anyone. We're not looking to net anyone in. We're not looking to rope people in. We're really looking to build a foundation that's built on trust and empathy and leadership and culture. And that's really kind of what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, well, because I think you don't necessarily recruit. I think your culture, or you don't necessarily, we talk about retention. When people stay in an organization, you don't necessarily focus on retention. For us, I think that's focusing on culture.
Right.
And culture is what leads to retention. And I also think culture, that feel of culture on your team, when you go out and you post on social media and stuff, I think that can come through on social media. So it also is part of attracting people to your team too. So do you want to start off with
I will. I want to kind of kick it off. So actually for me, I have done a very similar process for years. So I've actually run 62 free groups in my coaching career. I have a passion for service. I have a passion for customer service. And I have a passion for really also excellence in customer service. I have a hospitality background where I come from the field of senior living and was a camp counselor basically for older adults. So for me to be able to design and get people excited and keep people motivated and have these free challenges and get people kind of engaged in their own life is a real passion for me, which has been beneficial to the way in which we've kind of built our communities. So one of the ways that first and foremost we invite people into this opportunity is through our free community. We call it the Fitz Life Free Community. Like I said, we've run 62 groups, minus 1 month, which is when what happened for you happened. But other than that, we typically keep it super short, super high level. They're 3 days of a really fun, exciting value. One of the things I've noticed about my free community or our free community is that if I'm bored, they're bored. So I'm not just gonna run in and put in crappy content to run the group, to do the group. I have to bump it back a week so that I can give my energy to that free community. That's what I do. So when someone says, for example, I'm not ready yet, I'm not sure, I'm like, no worries, come in the free community. And really that is my opportunity to just share, first and foremost. The second thing, it's an opportunity to give value. The third thing, it's an opportunity with no strings attached for people just to walk away better. I believe that Beachbody as an organization and a company do that really well. We give away free workouts. We offer awesome BOD. If you go on the blog, anyone can access that. There are recipes, there's all those things. So really that's what that free community and that forum does. It gives more of a opportunity to share the resources, share the value that we have, and have a place to invite people into to get a taste of what this experience is all about.
Well, we always, we always tell our downline, it's like, if someone says no, and they inevitably will say no, what do you do with that person? Have somewhere to invite those people to. The free group's amazing for that. And also with the free group is they get to know you not only from your social media, but they get to know you in your free group. Right?
Yeah, and your personality.
Right, and there's that trust factor that we all know about. But I think the free groups is like, it's so vital to that next step, of kind of transitioning into accountability group.
Yeah,
right?
The client group. So one of the things, I'm a huge research junkie, and one of the things I've noticed as a trend is that majority of the clients that do decide when it serves them, when it's right for them, when it's the program that's launching for them, awesome, they're coming from the free group. So those customers, potential customers, have potentially been in that free group with us for anywhere from a year to 2 years to 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they're transitioning into a client. And eventually, yeah, a lot of them do transition into coach because they feel that this serves them. So from the free group, I always, at the end of the free group, again, I'm very much a no strings attached with no expectation. If they want to join the group, I offer it at the end of the free group and transition them over. And that's where they can experience our client experience. So culture starts for us in our client groups. We really want to ensure that people are getting results. We want to make sure that we also are kind of mimicking the coach experience in our client group. So what does that mean? So for example, I know for me, if I want to have a successful coach and a great leader on my team, I want someone that's a self-starter. I want someone that is resourceful. I want someone that is already reading personal development and leadership books. I want someone that understands that nutrition is a direct, it's directly impacted to how you feel and how you show up. And what I found and what we found is through our client groups, by running them with really more of that structured inviting and announcing them when they come into the group. You know, we're making sure that we're highlighting those clients of the week. We're making sure that people are following a certain program. They're following that nutrition. And the other thing that we've really started to do lately is what's called book club. And we do virtual book clubs. So we actually have anywhere from 30 to 50 women hopping on a Zoom every week. And we do our virtual book club check-ins. So right there, they're understanding that the vital behaviors of actually just living a great life is about personal accountability. It is about drinking more water. It is about fueling your body properly. It's about going to sleep. You know, it is about making sure that you are reading books that serve you versus e-magazines, if those are still here.
I think they are.
I don't know. But the point to the client groups really is that client experience so that people can see not only are they being led through this, but also us as coaches, we are experiencing it with them too, which means we're showing up in the client group, which means we're posting our sweaty selfies, which means we're posting our shake or whatever we're having that day so that the clients see us modeling the behavior of the coaching. And that's really about sharing. It isn't about hooking. It isn't about recruiting. We're truly being who we are authentically to ourselves in our client groups, on our social media, in our IG stories, in our Fits Life free community, so that there isn't really that hook, so to speak, because there is no hook, right?
Yeah, we're trying to mimic and echo the activities that a coach would do,
right?
Obviously, because you know coaches want results, and you know, yeah, we believe in the products that Beachbody has. Are they all going to use all the products? Of course not. But if we can get clients to do the coach activities, and part of that is get them results and use the products and stuff. That's what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to get someone to be a coach. We're trying to get someone to fall in love with how they feel. If you can get them to fall in love with how they feel, coaching is just a natural progression. There's no recruiting needed. There's no retention practices needed.
Right.
You get someone to fall in love with how they feel. It's the same thing as how they feel when they're coaching. Listen, someone comes in your accountability group and they're trying to get results and they haven't felt good for themselves in years. If they can fall in love with how they feel, it's the same thing with coaching. If you can get someone to fall in love with coaching, it's a really simple process to get them to get results as a coach. So I think for us, we really try to echo all those activities that coaches do. Even getting people to go live on Facebook, clients to get them to go live on Facebook. It's not always easy. It surely takes them out of their comfort zone, but I think that's part of that confidence building too in the accountability group, where that they start to understand, oh, okay, I can actually do some of the things that I see you guys do as coaches on social media.
And they start to tag us in their stories.
Sure.
And they do those, you know, whether or not they're on the morning Zoom with us, or they're tagging about the book club, or they're tagging about their meal, or they're tagging about shake wars, things like that, is really bringing that engagement and that energy up in the client group, is actually pulling them forward into social media and helping us do a better job. The other thing I will say too is that, you know, whenever we go live or whenever or not we're talking on social media, we are constantly talking about what we're learning in our group, what we're bringing to our group, and how they can be a part of that. So there isn't really that surprise when we are inviting people into that group, because they know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, moving sort of on to our next point, it's like culture is so hard to define. It really is, because someone's like, how do you build a culture? That is like 84 moving parts that ends up the product of what actual culture is in a team page, or what that looks like. So it's really hard to define. I think it has to do with personalities. I think it has to do with your interest, what you give to your community, how you show up. All those things matter. I think on social media, Kim and I probably show up very differently, and we run our business together. We treat this like a real company, not saying no one, you guys don't, but we treat this where Kim enjoys some of the parts of the business she loves. I enjoy specific parts of the business, and we kind of let each other do those parts of the business. I feel like it's an advantage for us, And I'm constantly trying to talk to spouses about getting involved in the business, not just men, women, spouses too and stuff, but getting involved in the business and finding the parts of the business that maybe they can help out with and love. And I think that's a big part of culture too. And of course, we have different social media platforms, Kim and I, we each run our own page. For me, and I'll let Kim speak on hers, for me, and again, I think this is part of who you attract and the energy and the vibe of the people that actually come into your team and make up your team and are part of the fabric of your team, because that they keep adding, right? Every new person that comes onto our team page, I feel like they bring something and they change the fabric and stuff like that, and I think it's really important. So I do think it matters who you attract. For us, I talk business a lot on social media. I talk network marketing. I've done previous traditional business. We were franchisors. I constantly am trying to talk about that and constantly sharing why I think network marketing is a great business model, why I think this business, multi-level marketing, has so many more advantages to traditional business. So I'm constantly talking about that in my stories. So I think when people join us, we double mentor everyone, but specifically when people join me, they know exactly what they're getting. They know what they're getting into. They know when they join me as a mentor, I'm here to help them build a business because I talk constantly about it on social media. So that attracts a certain type of person. So when that person comes into our team page, they expect that business entrepreneurial feel because I've expressed that through my social media, and that definitely attracts a certain type of person. When they come in, they mean business. It's not that they're not fun. It's not like they don't like to have fun and party or all those things. But that adds to our team culture because it definitely brings a certain person. We get a lot of corporate people that come on. I attract a lot of corporate people because like, okay, maybe I kind of like my job, but what this guy's talking about, that business, that financial literacy part, that network marketing business model type, I like what he's talking about. So when they come in, they're invested already in the business because I've been talking about that so much on my stories and social media. So they know what coming into the team page, and they take it seriously. They show up for the training. They show up for our team calls. They're like, it's really easy to hold those people accountable because they've joined for a specific reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for us too, is we really do recruit different types of people. You really do, I always say it's like attracts like. And one of the things I've been really working hard on is boldly sharing this business. This business is absolutely a gift. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of us, and especially for newer coaches, but I will still say that it's easy sometimes to stick to the client side or stick to what you're comfortable with, when really what people are wanting is, how do you run the business? How can you teach me how to do what you do? And how can I scale this globally as well? And that's really important to say yes and, right? So I always try to think, okay, if I'm going to explain something in this business, what's the end user going to get out of this? How can they do it too? How can I make this how can I help them to understand that this is something that they can align with their own brand, their own vision, and their own vehicle, which is important for me. So I really do lead with my heart. I'm an emotional
and
lover.
Value, lots of value.
And a ton of value. I try to give value as much as I possibly can. I always say, and what, and why, and how, right? When I look at one of my stories, I think, is this egocentric? Or is this actually about how can this serve someone? How can this leave someone better than when they found it? How can this inspire someone to do the work? And what I've noticed by sharing some of my morning processes, by sharing a lot of the routines, people are kind of doing them behind the scenes. So by the time they come to me, they've already groomed themselves to start to show up for themselves, start to lead themselves, start to realize I want more. And that's really one of the ways that I'm finding it super helpful with our social media and our recruitment.
And again, it's like, we've got 15 minutes here to train in the round table. I said to Kim before, I'm like, how do we give them real, like, solid, tangible stuff in 15 minutes? It's hard to, but we just kind of want to share what we do. And again, I think culture, back to maybe our team page and how we operate our team on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis, it's changed over time.
Yeah.
I think hours is a big one that we've really incorporated in the last sort of 18 months to 2 years. It's crazy. When we implemented them, we were like, why haven't we been doing this before? Because we didn't really do that many power hours with our team. But I think if you want to talk culture of what we do, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm just sharing what we do. We show up, like, we really show up every day. We pour into our team, like we freaking pour into our team as much as possible. I think culture comes from that. They feel that from us. They know we're heavily invested in what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish. We do team calls like it's church, like it's every Monday night, we change it to 8 p.m. Eastern, but everyone knows That's Monday night. We do incorporate now kind of every second week, we try to do some power hours, but our team calls are like, I heavily guard who comes on our team calls. Sometimes it's us, but we invite guests on. I guard that because that is 1 hour of time we get with our team. That's like, let's protect the crap out of that because it's so important, because I want them to get so much value from that they're not just showing up and then, because we've had the odd time where we've had a team call and I say to you after, oh man, that was not what I didn't think it was to the level that it should have been. And I felt bad because I want to provide that value to our team. And I think, again, that's part of fabric about who we are and what we expect to give to our team. Another thing too is like, you know, with our upline coaches too, it's like we try to offer 3 to 4 hours for our team every week that they can jump on with top leaders in our organization and our downline. I think that's been really critical for our team, because at the end of the day, we all get the same training, but that hour led for an hour, that's really, if you want to break down this business, that's all they need to know. This is what you do in an hour. You like invite, you follow up. This is what you do on Instagram. Like, and we've really like transitioned to that. The coaches aren't going to hop on all 4 hours every week. Of course not. But if they can get on one or catch some of those, I think that's really important. You know, once a month, we'll do a new coach call with our downline. We do importance of emerald calls, importance of diamond calls. We do those once a month. So we're trying to provide that value to people. And again, I think because of the way you and I run the business, and we each have different personalities. Again, I would say maybe your spouse isn't that involved, but you guys know, you're in the round table. Like, I think it's important to find leaders on your team that are willing to develop that culture with you. You can't just do it yourself, because then just your personality is going to shine through. And I feel like you're going to be missing out on some gaps, because I would definitely be missing out if I didn't have you. And I think vice versa, because I'm all about business, business, business. Kim has a lot of heart. And I think it's a good mix to what happens, sort of, right? Absolutely.
So just in closing, I think our last one thing we want to chat about is when we implemented pods in our group as well.
Yes.
So we do a new coach pod where we physically are training in that pod, as well as in addition to our training academy. So they're getting my face in that messenger pod each day with these little assignments, and it's getting them excited. But not only that, it keeps them connected to me, because I think so what happened for a long time, what I'm learning is that they go in the training and some people will get lost and they want that connection. They sign up with you for a reason. They join you because you inspire them. You're their leader. They look up to you. So I want to ensure that they're also getting that leadership, as well as I'm still carving out that time to build my own personal business. So as much as it sounds like, yes, we build culture, yes, we pour into our coaches, we also encourage them to know that 90% of our personal time is still built on building our personal businesses, and 10% we're pouring back into that team, if we're honest, right? I would say it's about that percentage.
Maybe a little more, but it's, yeah.
Anywhere from like 80 to you know, about 20% that we're pouring back into the team. But a lot of it's we're pouring back into our own personal businesses, because what I know is that when they see us pouring into our businesses, they pour into their businesses as well. So it's really modeling that behavior. One of the things I learned from Angie, I love this, it's a daily grind. So we actually pop in our team page, and I just talk about what I'm doing. You know, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is my high level, this is what I'm inviting to, and I found that's really helped too. So
and just to clarify, so when Kim's talking about the new coach training pod, so we have a new coach training academy. It's day-by-day training, I think 16, 17 days now. It changes when we add new stuff, but all of our new coaches in our downline, they go into that training academy on Facebook, but then we also have all the new coaches come in a pod as well, and that pod follows the training academy. And it's just a really good way to touch base in the chat. We love our chats for everything, for pushes and all that stuff. But I just wanted to clarify in case people were wondering what that was. So I hope that was helpful. We went over our time, we knew we would, but we tried to just kind of share what we do. And if you have any questions, reach out.
Yes.
And
we hope it was helpful. Happy Virtual Summit Week.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, guys.